Hey guys, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and he said, it is good, it is good, it is good. And then at the end, he said, after he made Adam and Eve, he said, it is very good. So what he put in motion was something extraordinary, something beautiful, something that reflected his characteristics, his culture, his inclination. He made it all beautiful. He made everything, all the systems work. Soil that had seed, that had trees, that produced fruit, that provided food. He had all the factors and all the ingredients. Sun to give light by day, the moon to reflect at night. And he made Adam and Eve. He made us in his image for his purposes, to be fruitful and to multiply. The Creator created creatives so we could create and more honor and reflect our Creator. God gives gifts, and the gift we give back to him is the utilization of those gifts, the embracing that, and the greatest gift being God himself. The best part of the Garden of Eden for Adam and Eve was God visiting them in the cool of the day, God calling them by name, and God interacting with them. This is the epicenter of the very most fulfilling thing you could experience. I'm watching influencers on YouTube and, that sort of thing, and they'll get caught up in high performance cars or wristwatches or, so many different things, how to improve your golf swing and a lot of health tips. And, there's virtue and value in good hobbies, but God doesn't want us in our Christian walk to approach him as hobbyists. He wants us to be, become like humble and become like children, where he doesn't even want us to be professionalists. He wants us to not be just like a hobby where this is something we sort of do on the side, or we come like in a professional kind of religious formalism. No, like families and husbands and wives and parents and kids and grandparents and grandkids and, siblings and all that, God wants it to be real, and God wants it to be warm, and God wants it to be personable. So, not hobbyist, not professional, but personal. And I think about how this got disrupted in the garden when the serpent, Lucifer, the devil, was the craftiest beast in the field. And he got in the garden and said to the woman, indeed, has God said you shall not eat from any tree of the garden? And she started interacting with the devil. And the big mistake was Adam should have been there garden, protecting his wife and the garden, and running off the devil right off the bat. He didn't do it. So this was a breach there. And then Eve breached by listening to and letting the devil, in his power of suggestion. He started immediately tempting Eve with questions. Questions destroy faith. Questioning, like, we can God can handle questions, and we should be able to handle questions and take questions. But the devil was trying to make her question God himself and question the authenticity of his love, the reliability of his word that he had given. And so the fruit of the trees of the garden we may eat, but from the fruit of the tree which is in the middle of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat from it or touch it, or you will die. Well, it doesn't say that you're not supposed to touch it. In fact, I think they were supposed to cultivate and tend the garden, but just not eat from it. So there's this, all of a sudden, seepage of inconsistency here. And the devil comes in real quickly and it says, from the fruit of the tree which is in the middle of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat from it or touch it, or you will die. I'm sorry, that was Eve. Then the serpent said to the woman, you surely will not die. The original sin actually was committed by Lucifer, and he was a fallen angel that led a third of the angels with him into rebellion. So then we come fast forward into this moment. Now, the original sin of humanity was Adam and Eve. But the original sin in the universe was Lucifer disobeying and not cooperating with God, the Creator. So he comes in here and he starts lying. He wants to start disrupting. So I'm going to tell you, God's plan is peace and life, but man's problem is that we've sinned. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. We're going to talk more about that because there's a cure for sin, and it's Jesus. But these verses right here explain where all the mess began. And it's helpful to understand that the world is under a curse, that things aren't ideal anymore. So when Mao Zedong or a Karl Marx or a Vladimir Lenin or other philosophers come along and try to create some type of utopia model for society, it's flawed. It has some ideals are good there, like equality and treating everybody right, everybody having a similar shot at everything. But it isn't. It's though it's a good ideal, there's no basis for it working, and then it creates all kinds of actual imbalances. The only cure is Jesus. God bless you guys.